Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the method that I owe basically all of my growth to. And this method isn't just good for length retention, but it's also good for just moisturizing needs and just taking good care of your natural hair in general, since because it'll be moisturized, it'll help stop like breakage and help with detangling, since your hair will already be moisturized and won't really get knotted up. So basically a lot of natural hair needs can be satisfied by performing this method, and I will be showing you guys how to do this the baggy method. Before I get into me performing this method on my head, and it won't take long at all since my hair is already twisted, I wanted to go ahead and do that for you guys. I twisted it with the LOC method, and if you want to see how that is performed, a link to the LOC and the LCO method will be in the description box below. But before I get into that, I wanted to explain what exactly is the baggy method. Now, this method can be performed in about 2 different ways, but in general, it involves putting either a shower cap or a plastic bag over your head and then securing either a scarf or a bonnet on top. And this was going to help create a humid environment on your scalp that helps to promote growth. The other way in which this method can be performed is by simply placing small plastic baggies on the ends of your hair, and this helps to keep your ends moisturized. Since these are the oldest parts of your hair, you want to pay special attention to them when you're performing any sort of moisturizing method so that you can make sure they're taken care of. Another question that I do get a lot is, does this method actually work? And personally, while I have never tried the technique where you just put the baggies on the end, the method where you put the shower cap over your head, I can say that it works wonders for me. Like, I definitely owe all of my growth on my journey to this method. I literally started out performing the baggy method on day 1 of my big chop, and I performed it very regularly, on a very regular basis, almost like every day since. Now, I do want to caution against performing this method every single day. That is definitely something that you should not do. At the time, I didn't know that. That was about 2 years ago. But performing this method every single day can cause your hair to be in like a constant damp state. And this is not only damaging for your strands, but it can also leave your hair smelly and leave your hair feeling like kind of sticky and just disgusting. So this is not a method, I repeat, that you want to perform every single day. You should definitely only perform it about 2 to 3 times a week at most, because your hair does still need to breathe. Oxygen is also important for hair growth. And now that we've gotten like all of the backstory and informative stuff out of the way, we can talk about how to actually do this. Now, irregardless of the fact of whether you decide to place baggies on your end or put on the full-blown shower cap, you want to apply a leave-in conditioner to your head. This is the main focal point of the baggy method in general. So you want to apply a leave-in conditioner. Then you can decide from then on if you want to apply an oil or a cream, but you do want to apply a leave-in conditioner because, like I said before, this is the focal point of that method. And also, if you have heard of the greenhouse method, it is the leave-in conditioner product that actually causes the baggy method to differ from the greenhouse method. The greenhouse method is a technique where it mostly thrives off of more natural processes and natural products. So you wouldn't apply a leave-in conditioner, you would apply like a butter or an oil, and this is supposed to help stimulate the production of sebum, the natural oil that produces out of our scalps, to help promote growth. From there, the processes are basically the same. You can put on your shower cap and your bonnet, but the main difference, the only difference, is that with the greenhouse method, you're applying a more natural product like oil or a cream or butter, and with the baggy method, you're applying a leave-in conditioner or your moisturizer of choice, and then if you want to, a cream or an oil. So after you've applied your leave-in conditioner or moisturizer of choice, you're then going to put either your shower cap on or your baggies. Now, personally, I suggest just putting on the full-blown shower cap because honestly, your ends aren't the only thing that needs to be moisturized. Your roots do too. But I can understand why some people would just do their ends, because it's a lot easier for our roots to grow out because they're attached right to our scalp. So they're getting the most benefits from that natural sebum that's coming from our scalp to help with growth. So I personally suggest doing the shower cap, but if you just want to do the ends, now is the time where you would make that decision. And then you just put on your scarf or your bonnet. And if you don't have a scarf or a bonnet, that is perfectly fine, but it does help to have one to aid in producing that humid environment that your hair follicles really love in order to see growth. Now that I've got all of my narration out of the way, I'm just going to put on my shower cap and my bonnet, and I will take everything down in the morning so you guys can see how it looks. So it's the next day and I'm just gonna take off my scarf and shower cap and let you guys see my twists. And I tried to come in like close so you could see how they were still a little damp, but I don't know if you can really tell. But anyway, you can see that it's shiny and they are still slightly damp, but that can be solved with just like blowing with a blow dryer or a diffuser. But I'm just going to fast forward through me taking down just the right side of my twist, and then I'm going to skip to when it's completely done. I have to admit to you guys, like, even for all the times that I have performed this method, I am super pleased and satisfied with these results. Like, this twist out looks really good. I don't know if this camera right now is doing any justice, but this looks really good. So since it does, I'm gonna just show y'all the products I used for the LOC method really quick. I used the same leave-in conditioner that I normally use, the SheaMoisture Jamaican black castor oil, and then I just used my organic off-brand great value Walmart coconut oil. But I also use the Diva Curl Super Cream, which is a new product that I just purchased from their Celebrate Super Curly Moisture Kit. And this honestly has defined my curls really well, so I'm super excited about that. But anyway, off of that little tangent, that is how the bagging method is performed. And my hair was slightly damp, like I was saying in the voiceover some, when I took off the cap. And it has dried more since unraveling the twist, but if they are still slightly damp to the touch, you can always blow dry them on a cool light setting to get it to dry, or you can diffuse some to dry and to add volume. I also want to add two things that I forgot to mention earlier. First, before you even apply your leave-in conditioner or anything, you want to spritz with water. This method relies a lot on moisture in order to provide that humid growing environment. So if you naturally sweat a lot while you sleep, you may not need to spritz with as much water because honestly the sweat on your head would produce enough moisture. But if you don't really sweat a lot while you sleep like me, you should definitely spritz with water before you apply your leave-in conditioner. And while that may sound a little gross, I promise it isn't, because once you take off your cap and undo your twists, your hair will air out, so there won't be any smell or anything like that. But like I was saying before, if you constantly do this like 4 or 5 weeks at a time with like no break in between, your hair will start to smell because of like the sweat and all that humidity that's causing for that smell to be created onto your head. So definitely only perform this 2 to 3 nights a week at most. And lastly, I want to add, this isn't meant to be a method to perform if you're trying to achieve a twist out style in the morning, but if that is your goal, then you should definitely, one, spritz with less water. I say the same thing in the LOC and LCO method videos, but you want to spritz with less water so that your style will actually hold. And you want to twist with a twisting cream, as this is actually meant to help your hair to hold a twist out style or like a braid out or whatever. So those are the two things you need to remember: less water and twisting cream. Thank you all for watching this video. Make sure you hit that like button if you liked it. Hit it even if you didn't. Leave a comment in the comment box below and make sure you subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.